G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a troubleshooter's explosive 10mm submachine gun. Now, the 10mm submachine gun was strangely absent from Fallout 4, and I theorized that since you could put the 10mm pistol on an automatic platform, it didn't warrant the time and effort creating new assets and animations for a 10mm submachine gun. But it's back in Fallout 76 and looking better than ever. So this thing doing 84 damage, we've got it with 3 stars, so bullets explode, more damage resistance while reloading, and I love reloading, so that's going to be coming in handy. And also the 30% elemental damage against robots, which is kind of useful, but So at 84 damage, this thing is doing okay. Let's quickly upgrade that with some perks. So going with ground pounder and concentrated fire like last time in the perception tree, and chucking in all 3 commando perks. And going over to intelligence, we'll chuck on demolitions expert, there it is. And in luck, we're going to be using bloody mess. Chuck it on, and that brings us to 233 damage, which is actually not too bad. The 10mm submachine gun is a little bit of an oddity when crafting. Some of the naming conventions don't really match up with other guns, and other stuff just isn't there. There's bits and pieces missing, which is kind of strange, but jumping into the attachments here, first of all for the receivers, none of these are marked as automatic receivers, but as you can tell by the rate of fire at 91, which is actually a lot higher than most ballistic weapons. Usually they're capped off at 75, so this thing's got a pretty high rate of fire, which is pretty good. But you'll notice that they aren't actually marked as automatic receivers, despite they are, which is kind of strange. So you can actually put a hardened automatic receiver on this, which is actually pretty good. We'll go for a lined long barrel and a lined stock just to control that recoil a bit, because this thing does kick quite a bit. And we've also got a perforating magazine, which all of these have the standard mag capacity of 30, but this will give us the best armor penetration. You can get a little bit more reload speed out of that, but that's not going to matter. We've got ground pounder. So you'll notice that there's no optic slot or muzzle slot, so we can't put a reflex slot on this to really give us an advantage in VATS, nor can we put a suppressor on, which is tragic. And don't forget to chuck on the super duper perk and the ammo smith perk when you craft ammo. You'll find this under the basic ballistic stuff. It'll require the basic stuff, gunpowder, lead and steel. Let's just top up my resources of that now, and I've pretty much gone through all my steel. Let's get started on some gameplay. Alrighty, so here we are outside of the chemical factory where a lot of robots reside, and you'll notice with the iron sights of this thing, whilst there's like a rear sight for you to line something up on, there's actually no front post to line that up with. So magically, you just point it like that and the bullets go exactly where you're pointing at, which is great. You also notice how constricting these iron sights are compared to a reflex sight. So I think what I want to do is actually fight most of my enemies in third person, because you get so much clearer of a view when you do this. Also, we'll crouch to get some sneak attack criticals. So far, so good. Those are pretty tough gulpers, and we're going through them quite easily. Also, they looked, I think they said they were glowing, but they kind of look scorched. Never mind. Alright, so usually we'll have a bunch of ghoulies over here fighting some robots at the start. And there's a Colonel Gutsy. Watch the AP bar here. You go through it very, very quickly indeed. That's why I've chucked on the bloody mess perk rather than the perk that would four-leaf clover. So I don't think using this thing in VATS is the best use of your time. You're much better off just using your own aiming skill and shooting at robots who are clipping through walls. Nice. Alright, so it looks like we've aggroed Colonel Gutsy. Whilst this thing does use up AP very fast, if your targets are standing still and you've got a good base accuracy to build on from concentrated fire, you can actually do a pretty good job. And ignore that lag. That wasn't reflective of the performance of the weapon. It's actually pretty good, as you can tell. So, not having a two-shot explosive weapon on the channel for the first time, so yeah, this thing, its accuracy, it's kind of what you miss. Also, when aiming down sights and firing this thing in first person, the sights do bounce around a bit, so yeah, you really can't see what you're shooting at, especially with all the smoke kicked up by the shell ejection there. So, also, why is it ejecting towards you? I feel like that's backwards. Never mind. So we're doing pretty well so far against these robo dudes, and unfortunately there's no sentry bot for me to... Oh wait, there he is. There we go. So using this as a stealth commando platform, despite it not having a suppressor, is good. We actually, since this thing doesn't have a suppressor like affixed to it, we've chucked on 2 more points of... Oh, I forgot about that apparently. Was he actually legendary? I don't know. I'm gonna pick up your stuff though. That's a lot of missiles. Holy shit. Any rocket players want to grab that? Anyways, so this thing, despite not having a suppressor, is actually kind of stealthy. You can still get away with using it, and that is because I've got 4 bits of chameleon armor on me, I suppose, and also escape artist. That perk is, I think it's a little bit broken, but I'm not going to complain about it. And I think we're back in hidden. That might be all of the robots taken out. Yes, we got a little bit more damage against these robots. That's probably why it was so easy to take them out. But you saw against those gulpers before, we still did pretty well. So yeah, doing pretty good so far with a 10mm submachine gun. That rate of fire is definitely really, really good when dealing with explosive projectile damage. So very good. Alright, let's move on to something else. Alright, let's see what we can do against a bunch of feral ghouls. Oh, they're out already. Looks like they've got the jump on me this time. And without using a suppressor, we should be able to quickly get aggro all of these dudes, bounce the splash damage off the table, and kill them a lot. Okay, they're coming through the choke point now, so make sure we sort of back off. I like how they explode with bloody mess. They improved that significantly over Fallout 4. It was so ugly and disgusting in Fallout 4. Now it's satisfying to see an enemy fall apart. They're filtering through kind of slow, which is kind of good because I've only got a limited mag capacity with this, so sometimes it is good if they don't all swarm me at once, but I kind of want some action, so I'm going to run straight in there and get immediately hit, and we'll see how we go. Looks like we've drawn out that one. Okay, the remaining ones might actually be down below, so if we can catch them on the stairs, that'd be good. Get a little bit of splash damage bounced on that man, and that one as well. Well, X-Men, I suppose. As in, they used to be a man, now they're an insane ghoul. Huh. They're really not running at me today. They just can't be bothered, I guess. But there you go. We've actually cleared out all of these guys kind of easily. There's no boss enemy. Where's... I guess I already killed him. Maybe there was a glowing one that I didn't see, but... yeah, the 10mm submachine gun made pretty good work out of that. Despite having the low-ish mag capacity, we've managed to pull through that quite easily with a little bit of caution, I suppose. We managed to get right in there at the end, and... oh, it's because they're all T-posing. They're trying to intimidate me, but I will not be intimidated by a bunch of T-posing ghouls. Okay, I think that's 60% adrenaline by now. Yes, what does that give us, by the way? 373 damage, not at all a... 373 damage, not at all something to be sneezed at. That's some good damage right there. And on a platform where it is actually kind of accurate as well, unlike other two-shot explosive weapons, or unlike two-shot explosive weapons in general, yeah, seems pretty good. Good on the crowd control test. Well done, 10mm submachine gun. Okay, after being a little bit disappointed by the two-shot Tesla rifle yesterday, let's get our revenge on Swan by killing him very, very fast. You can stop screaming now you're dead. Okay, let's get stuck into some crabby dudes. Alright, where are yous? Don't be shy. Come out, or I can hear them. Ah, there they are. They're all sort of packed in together, which is useful for getting lots of splash damage on. Almost detected, now we are detected, so they should start running at us pretty soon. Or we could just use Escape Artist to go back into Caution, that works too, yes. Okay, Glowing Milet King dudes, we gotta... okay, we worry about those guys, because they actually do quite a lot of damage, so we'll just go ahead and VATS crit spam him, just so we can get him out of the way. And now there's a bunch of fish in a barrel, crustaceans in a barrel. There's the queen, by the way. She's actually shown up today. Ideally, I'd like to kill one more crab before taking her on, but whatever. And as soon as she turned around, we really got the damage in. Even despite us hitting her shell for those first couple of shots, we're still doing a significant amount of damage to her, so... yeah, dependable power out of just one explosive effect, or one projectile explosive on a 10mm submachine gun. Pretty good. Alrighty, so for this next fight, I want to tip the odds a little bit more in my favor by activating a sneak bobblehead. I've had this in my inventory for days, I've never even used it. So, just getting started on the Scorched Beast with a little bit of stealth commando business. We seem to be doing okay so far. We are in danger now, which means all of the dudes are going to start running at us, including that one who... Oh, there's just a bunch of Scorch coming from that way too. Well, that's okay. They're here for the sole purpose of us to get more damage to fight the bats, so that's fine. Hiding behind the tree will do nothing when I can just make the ground explode around you, mate. And there we go. Scorch Conqueror down, and I think that is it. I saw another one, but they disappeared, so we'll get back into shooting the Scorched Beast now. Now, I like to hip fire this thing, and not because it gives me a lot more accuracy, or not because ground pounder gets me accuracy, it's because this thing's a lot easier to use, because, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's easy when you get staggered and your bullets still seem to go where you're pointing, but yeah, sometimes it's a little bit easier just to get to the bullets on target when you're aiming in third person or just with hip firing, despite this thing being somewhat inaccurate at ranges. Okay, let's see if we can't go double or nothing. We'll aggro that one, and this one already seems to be aggroed, so we'll get started on him. Target him in the wings so we can make him drop faster, hopefully. I think that's how it works. I'd imagine that an explosive weapon would do a good amount of damage to limbs. Okay, we're back into caution. Oh, okay, I'm regretting the decision to... Can I get a stim pack, please? Thank you. I'm regretting the decision to aggro both of them, but let's see if we can't get out of this with using a 10mm submachine gun. Ah, yes, one of you has landed. That's good news. That means we can easily hit you. Now, one of the advantages of this weapon I haven't really talked about yet is just the weight of it. Now, the handmade rifle, I've sort of got this in my mind. That's things like 20 weight. Even with, like, a line grip, which is, like, not even a stock. Yeah, this thing only weighs 5.4, which is actually kind of like what you'd get out of a plasma gun, which makes it exceptionally light, which is really, really good. Something that is more of a problem for your average Fallout 76 player is weight capacity, believe me, I know. So having this weapon only like coming under 6 pounds, that's really good. That allows you to room for basically anything else useful. Typically a lot of ammo can be used with, you know, all of that extra space that you get. Also, you'll notice that this thing isn't the most durable thing in the world. I've been using this thing quite a lot and it's already down to basically broken. But I think you get the point of this weapon. It's actually pretty friggin' good. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, I'd suggest hitting up some sort of trading market on the Reddits, because usually they've got what you're looking for. Just offer a bunch of caps and some person will say, yeah, alright, have my 10mm submachine gun of the explosive variety. It's actually kinda good. Thank you for watching, guys.